What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Eagerly awaiting the premiere of the second installment of After, we just wanted to take a look at some of those scenes that we could barely believe happened. Or we just wanted to examine them further, spot some juicy details. So today, we will be showing you the 10 most paused After movie scenes. Let's jump right in, people! Number 10. Drawing on Tessa's back. After the wedding scene where they're being all cute and cuddly with one another, and the morning after the huge sex scene, Tessa and Hardin decide to hop in for a bubble bath. To make time go by faster, we see them playing a game. What kind of game?
That one is...
I have no idea.
Well, Hardin has to write a name on Tessa's back with his fingers, and she has to guess, based on the movement of his finger, what word he's written. While the directors didn't actually show us the first one, which was cat, we definitely had to pause to see what Hardin wrote the second time. And boy were we in for a deep surprise. He started with the letter L, and then O and V, and finally, you guessed it, E. The scene was so intense, you could see how choked up Hardin was while writing it. This was a big moment for a couple, seeing as they just partook in one of the most intimate acts of making love. Number 9. Hardin's smoking hot body. One of the most memorable scenes of the movie is the one shot at the lake. Here, after Tessa and Hardin talk for a while, he wants to show her one of his favorite places in town. It's this small, secluded lake in the forest where Hardin usually comes to collect his thoughts. Tessa agrees and they both hop in the car, drive to the lake, and walk on the platform. Just as they're standing there, Hardin begins taking off his shirt. Then the pants come off, and that's where we like to pause the video. For the first time in the movie, we get to see the chiseled body of this bad boy heartbreaker. And boy is he a sight for sore eyes, especially those tattoos. And remember the scene where he dived in the lake? Wasn't that just to die for? Number 8. The lake kiss. It's the same scene. Both of them are at the lake. As Tessa is waiting to see what all the fuss is about, Hardin begins taking off his clothes and she can't believe what she's seeing. But after a while, she becomes used to it, and he manages to get her to take a swim with him. This is the moment when you smash that like button if you haven't done so already. But in reality, it's the moment when they're very close for the first time. The two take a dive, and when they resurface, Hardin explains to her how he loves the actual silence and calamity of the water. As they gaze into each other's eyes, Tessa is drawn to him, and we all know Hardin's drawn to her. That's when it happens. We got to see Tessa and Hardin kiss on screen. That kiss is one of the best scenes of this movie, and you better believe it was actually paused tons of times. Number 7. The smile during the dance. When Hardin's father finished giving a toast, he and Tessa sit at their table. Hardin admits to Tessa how bad he feels seeing his dad marry another woman, how much he's changed over the years, and how much he resents him for never being there when he needed a father. To take his mind off the pain, Tessa proposes they join the dance floor. While the slow music is playing, Tessa and Hardin kept smiling at each other. They interlocked heads with one another, and right then, as we see them sharing an Eskimo kiss, that's when their noses touch, Tessa smiles so genuinely and honestly that we don't believe she was actually acting. She seems so content knowing she finally found the love of her life. Number 6. Tessa's giggle. You can't have an iconic scene like the one with the lake without having a proper moment where the two characters are bonding, right?
I think that it's better if we keep our distance.
Well, this scene is where the magic happens. When he tells her, "I can't stay away from you," Tessa's completely lost. She doesn't know what he means. He then offers to start all over again, referring to their friendship. After the incident at the party where Tessa felt embarrassed. Right then and there, he says he has something to show her. Tessa is hesitant at first and says, "Come on, show me." When he tells her it's a place he wants to take her to, she's kind of stunned, but she says that it would be best if they kept their distance. Playing off her own words, Hardin just moves a few steps back to quote-unquote keep his distance. That's when Tessa giggles like a little girl and shows us she's truly in love with him. Just look at her shy smile, all while looking down at the ground. It just makes you go, aww. Number 5. Tessa finds out about the texts. We know the relationship of these two wasn't perfect, with her mom threatening to cut off her funding for college and her breaking up with her boyfriend, plus Hardin being a jackass at first. They've sure had their rough patches, but the hardest one to swallow were the texts. When Hardin is being all mysterious about who's texting him, Tessa becomes anxious and wants to see whether or not he's cheating on her. She's actually hesitant at first, but then she finds out Molly sent him some sort of mysterious text, suggesting he come clean with Tessa. And when the scene cut to the text messages, you can bet fans paused the video to read all those juicy details about Hardin's secret, which inevitably became the straw that broke the camel's back, or broke their relationship. Number 4. Hardin Scott's tears. Wanting to know more about what all the texts were about, he goes to the bar to confront all of Hardin's friends. When Hardin walks through the door, it's already too late. They told her that Hardin had a secret plan for her that he's been hiding. Wanting to know what it is, Molly shows her the video from the party after Tessa said she's not playing the game of truth or dare anymore. That's when Hardin turned to the camera and said, "I'm going to make her fall in love with me and then break up with her."
Make her fall in love with me. And then turn it off.
Tessa was shocked. She storms out the door. Hardin runs after her, even though he tries to explain he was only saying that in the beginning, but it's too late. Tessa breaks up with him, and that's where it happens. We see the tough Hardin cry for the first time. Even though he came close during his father's wedding, this was actually the first time we saw him crying, and fans paused to see whether he really did. Number 3. Anna Todd's appearance. When you have a cast like the one on After, you know the author of the script and the book is going to be close with her stars. Anna Todd is actually real good friends with Josephine Langford and Hero's fiennes-tiffin. Plus, they do a lot of interviews together where you can just see how close they are. When the author of the famous book appeared in this small scene where she held the door for Tessa, we immediately paused the video to verify whether it was her or not. We couldn't believe the author made an appearance in the movie centered around her book. Even though it was only a minor scene, we still loved seeing her on set. Number 2. Scott's letter. After the terrible breakup, we know Tessa and Hardin were heartbroken, but we were too. We knew things weren't over with these two, even when Tessa moved back into her mom's home and made up with her old boyfriend. None of that mattered really. We knew Hardin would be back, and sure enough, one day Tessa received a letter. In it there was a photo of her, a photo of the secluded lake, and a letter. When we saw the picture in the lake, we knew who sent the letter. And when the camera showed it even for a short while, all of us immediately paused it to see what it read. We wanted to know the content even before Hardin began narrating it.
I've read hundreds of novels in my life, most of them claiming that love was the center of the universe.
Number 1. The sex scene stare. You better believe we saved the best for last. This is the one scene we've been waiting for the entire movie. After the passionate dance at the wedding, they both go upstairs in the bedroom while kissing. They begin taking their clothes off, and Tessa is finally ready to take the relationship to the next level. As they lay on the bed kissing, they look in each other's eyes. This is when we all wanted to know whether Tessa and Hardin were actually in love with each other. And sure enough, their passionate silence spoke louder than they ever could.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And on that note, we end this video. But hey, which of these scenes did you actually pause when you were watching the movies for the first time? You can tell us in the comments section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys!